Hey guys, this is a piece of white oak that I got from our Facebook marketplace from a guy who was moving. And also this piece of white oak, and there I have some copper pipe that I'm going to use to make an end table. This is actually an experimental project. I have no idea how it is going to turn out, but nonetheless I set off, and the first thing I'm doing is cutting down some blanks that I'm going to turn on my lathe to fasten the copper pipe in to make the legs. It has been a while since I've done any form of wood turning, even though I'm still a beginner in doing wood turning. I find it a very relaxing process in terms of doing wood turning. I have big dreams. I believe in the future I might be doing some big wood turning projects, but for now, since I only have this mini lathe, I am still in the practicing phase, and they say practice make you become perfect. So I'm actually cutting down the end so that it will fit into the copper pipe. And I am telling you that this was definitely a fun project doing this aspect of it. And it took some time, but when you're doing experimental stuff, it definitely take time because you're figuring out as you go along. And I have to say that I believe that I did fairly well. Could have done a little bit more in terms of how I turn these leg portion that I'm going to fasten into the copper pipe. But I have to tell you, if you need a hobby, if you need something to make you relax, you can get one of these wood turning lathe and do some form of wood turning. It is definitely fun to do it. And there am I sanding down these things and getting the final adjustment. There I'm trying to see if it fits within the pipe. And after that, then I'm going to cut it down to glue them in onto the blanks, the leg portion. And here you see I'm cutting them down into, and what I'm using here is the I think it's JB metal something. I don't remember the exact name, to keep them stable into the copper stable into it. And I don't know about you, because for me, I am definitely enjoying this journey in terms of using my hands to make stuff. And as the channel suggests, what is in here, and I try to use stuff that may be discarded or stuff that people will deem to not really ready, and they're making the final adjustment also to these legs. And then I'm going to cut them. After I'm finished doing this, I'm actually going to cut them down into some 5-degree bevel on one end, so that when I fasten them for the legs to put on, and I'm using the Scotch-Brite to scuff the copper to give it a little sheen and also maintain a little bit of roughness. There am I cutting down the 5-degree bevel on the legs. And now this is the part that I think every woodworker do like, when I have to sand down this block. I'd initially put some epoxy in the crack. I did not put that part in this video, but here am I sanding down, getting rid of the excess epoxy off this board, and I'm trying to keep some of the original characteristics of this piece of white oak beam, because it is said to be over 100 and odd years old, thereabouts. So I'm trying to keep some of that in it, with also this modern part by adding this epoxy. And as I rightly stated, this is really an experimental piece. I don't know how it is going to turn out. I hope that when it is finished, I will actually love it. And if somebody would like it, they could reach out to me in the comment section. If you're in the Maryland here or thereabout, you can reach out to me and we can organize. What I'm doing now is making the other part of the legs, where I'm going to put the legs on this to use it to attach it to the actual top of the table, which is that big piece of white oak that you saw me sanding down. And I'm actually cutting down this to 3.5 inches and then 9 inches by 9 inches, and then I'm going to cut another 10 degree bevel on each end and sand it down. I did not add that part in the video. Sand it down, and then I'm going to fasten the copper legs on these two pieces of board. And what I'm doing here is using glue to keep it stable, and then I'm going to drill some hole in it and then use screws to hold it down. And after that, I'm going to actually put it onto the tabletop itself and then apply the finish, which is Rubio Monocoat. And there you see I'm still adding more screws to ensure that the leg is stable. So far I'm definitely liking the way how it look. I've always wanted to do woodwork. Here my putting on the legs to the table and screwing them down, keeping them stable. And after I had initially put it down to see if it was the level, it was not, so I had to use find a mechanism to get the legs level so that it will sit flat on the surface. And what I'm doing now is applying Rubio Monocoat to this piece. And I have to say, if you are one who truly appreciate art, you will love this piece, because when it comes to art, they will say that art is subjective to the person who is viewing it. But for me, I believe that this is indeed a piece of art, and there you go, take a look at it. What a beauty. Very lovely piece of end piece. Let me know what you think about this piece in the comment section. And if you have come this far into the video, what you can do for me is like, subscribe, and share this to help this channel grow. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.